Imagine turning on your television to watch an episode of your favourite show, only to have it be interrupted by something incredibly creepy. This is what millions of Americans would see on their screens at just past 11:20 PM that night. We've all seen the video. And to this day, it stands as one of the creepiest examples of a moment captured on television that will most likely not happen again for a good while. Technicians made attempts to regain control of their channel, however their efforts were for nothing, as it would not counteract the takeover. They reportedly got more stressed out as the broadcast continued as the content kept getting weirder, and they only managed to start their own broadcast again when the pirate ended theirs. The two channels that it occurred on received hundreds of phone calls inquiring about the incident. To this day, no one has claimed responsibility for the illegal broadcast, and can you blame them? Law enforcement have stated that the perpetrators face up to a $100,000 fine and a year in prison. However, as the statute of limitations for the crime is now passed, they could reveal their identity and get away with no consequences. This seems more and more unlikely as the years go on.
We'll buy them because they look like they're worth more than £5 each. You know, hands up, I bought them to resell.
Look, that chair's beginning to rock. Look at that.
Who's doing that? Stop it. Who's doing that?
This video was taken from part of an episode of the British TV show This Morning. A woman appeared on the show to tell the story of a doll that she had purchased. Since the purchase, strange things had apparently started to happen to her and the people around her, and during this appearance, viewers would notice something very odd. The chair that the doll was sitting on started to move on its own. Now, as this is television, we can't be 100% sure that this is real and not some sort of stunt, but the hosts and guests seems to be genuinely taken by surprise when this occurs, despite being skeptical of what was causing it to rock. This couple went on This Morning after multiple incidents occurred that they think were related to the doll. Admittedly, not a lot of these incidents seem to have substance, but one of the key incidents occurred after her husband had been scratched in the night, which they believe was caused by them storing the doll away in their bedroom. After this, they put the doll in the shed, inside of a box with other boxes on top of the main one. They say that the doll's necklace was wrapped around its neck tight 5 or 6 times, but when they went to retrieve it a few days later, the necklace was almost falling off, despite not having been touched. After this, the doll was listed online and it was bought for over £800. The new owner of the doll reported that the doll had allegedly scratched one of her family members. This is when a psychic would begin to investigate the possible paranormal incidents. Since taking in the doll, weird things started to happen to her and her husband. However, despite all of these claims, host of Most Haunted and paranormal investigator Yvette Fielding believes that these are simply coincidence. On the 26th of November 1977, people around the United Kingdom would hear this eerie voice coming from their television.
This is the voice of Omar, representative of the Ashtar Galactic Command, speaking to you. For many years you have seen us as lights in the stars. We speak to you now, to service them as we have done to your brothers and sisters all over this, your planet Earth.
The interruption occurred during a news broadcast, where the picture would distort for a brief second before the audio you heard before would play. This would go on for 6 whole minutes, with the speaker claiming to be a representative of the Ashtar Galactic Command, essentially extraterrestrial communication, and instructing people of the Earth to destroy their weapons of evil, as Earthlings must live in peace. One investigator on the case is quoted as saying, "Clearly the android must have known his onions. I mean, you can't go addressing the airwaves unless you have a fair amount of technical knowledge." A spokesperson stated that their transmitter was jammed by putting another one in close proximity to it. This resulted in it overwhelming the legit transmitter's intended signal and allowing the pirate to be on the air. They also confirmed that to do this, the pirate would require a lot of technical knowledge. The perpetrator has never been caught, and similar to the first broadcast, as this was so long ago, it's likely they never will be.
Are those fireworks? What is that?
Fireworks or something.
Aliens? I don't know.
Lights were captured over Milwaukee on a Tuesday morning. Immediately, the presenters questioned what they were watching, whether they were fireworks or something else. They certainly don't look like any fireworks that I've ever seen, but admittedly, I don't have a wide range of knowledge in regard to that. Viewers believed that it could have been meteors or shooting stars. However, it seems unlikely that they would have captured this many in such a small period of time. One theory is that it could have been the result of how the camera captures movement, as we can see that when cars go by, they leave a trail of sorts, similar to the lights in the sky. It still doesn't explain the origin exactly, but it's a good thing to note. Another theory presented debunked the lights as water droplets, stating that certain cameras can make drops of water or swarms of insects appear like this. Fox 6 did actually do some research into the origin and debunked that the lights were actually seagulls that had been flying over the area within the hour. However, some people choose to believe that the origin is much more extraterrestrial. Thank you to my Patreon supporters Neil, Alex Rod, K4 Silver, Dennis, Chelsea Wenzel, Cynic Sally and Riddlecam.